What? Petition from the Sentencing Council for approval of sentencing guidelines for statutory offences of causing death by driving. What?
My Lords, this is a petition at the instance of the Scottish Sentencing Council to approve a sentencing guideline in relation to offences of causing death by driving. In August 2022, the Council published a draft of the guideline. The Council consulted with the Scottish Ministers, the Lord Advocate and the public in general, inviting responses by mid-November 2022. In August 2023, the Council, having considered the responses, agreed the terms of the guideline, which they proposed should come into force next January. The guideline covers 4 types of offence: causing death by driving, first, dangerously; secondly, carelessly while under the influence of drink or drugs; thirdly, carelessly without either of these aggravations; and fourth, without a licence or insurance or when disqualified from driving. On the first 3 categories, the guideline proposes that the court should first estimate the seriousness of the offence within one of 3 levels, A, B or C. It will then take as a starting point a sentence in the specified range applicable to the chosen level. The court will then take into account a series of aggravating and mitigating factors as identified in the guideline before reaching a concluded view on the appropriate sentence in the particular circumstances in the individual case. For example, at its most serious, the range for causing death by dangerous driving is 7 to 12 years in custody, whereas at its least serious level, it will be between 2 and 5 years in custody. The maximum sentence under the statute remains imprisonment for life. Aggravating or mitigatory circumstances may result in the sentence imposed being out with the specified range. A similar exercise on causing death by careless driving whilst under the influence of drink or drugs produces a range at its lowest of a community payback order and at its highest 12 years in custody before the aggravating and mitigating factors are introduced into the equation. A similar formula applies in relation to death by careless driving without these aggravations. The guideline emphasises that it should be read in conjunction with the more general Principles and Purposes guideline and any other guidelines which apply to the particular offender or offence. If a court decides not to follow the guideline, it must state the reason for doing so. Is it your Lordship's will that the guideline be approved? Lord Pentland?
I welcome the introduction of this new guideline.
Lord Boyd? Very well, the guideline is approved.
What?